Welcome back to Treasures from the Purans, a treasure chest of fascinating stories from the Puran genre of Indian literature. The curated stories in this series are from Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, which I have adapted for this podcast. I'm Valentina Trivedi, bringing you treasures from the Purans. Srimad Bhagavatam Punyam Nanakhyan Kavanvitam Dvaipayanamukhodbhutam Panchalakshana Sanyutam Shrinvatam Sarvapapagnam Shubhadam Sukhadam Tatha Itihasamidam Punyam Kirtitam Muni Sattamaha. Anybody who hears this Srimad Bhagavatam, endowed with 5 characteristics and filled with various anecdotes that came out of the mouth of Vyasa, finds all his sins destroyed and attains peace and blessedness. O Munis, this holy history has thus been described to you. The last episode ended with King Janmejay asking sage Ved Vyas why Vishnu's ardent devotee Prahalad battled the sages Nar and Narayan. Vyas replied, O king, the demon king Hiranyakashyap was slain by Vishnu's half-lion, half-man incarnation, Narsimha. Narsimha Avatar then made Prahalad the king of Daityas in Patal, the netherworld beneath the earth's surface. Prahalad ruled there righteously. Back on Bhulok, or the earth, Chyavan, the son of sage Bhrigu, went to bathe in the Narmada river. While descending into the river, a frightening serpent caught hold of him and carried him to Patal Lok. The terrified Chyavan Muni started praying to Vishnu. On hearing him pray, the serpent became fearful of his power and left him unharmed in Patal. Chyavan Muni, worshipped by the Nagakanyas or the daughters of the serpents, roamed around in the beautiful dwelling places of the Nagas and the Danavs. While he was wandering around, King Prahalad saw him. He bowed before the sage and asked him the purpose of this visit to the netherworld. O Muni, said Prahalad, have you been sent here by Indra? Has the king of the Devatas sent you to spy on my kingdom? Chyavan Muni replied, O king of Daityas, do not have this fear. I am Chyavan, the son of sage Bhrigu. Like you, I too am a devotee of Vishnu. He then told King Prahalad about the circumstances which had brought him there. A relieved Prahalad then asked him, O Muni, please tell me which are the best places of pilgrimage on earth, visiting which leads to holiness. Chavanuvacha Mano Vakaya Shuddhanam Rajamstatirtham Pade Pade Tatha Malina Chittanam Ganga Apiki Katadhika. Chyavan Muni said, O king, for one whose mind, body and words have become pure, each footstep is a place of pilgrimage. And for him whose heart is impure, even the holy Ganga is defiled and worse than Kikat. So every holy place will impart holiness to one whose heart and mind are pure. O best of the Daityas, he continued, on the banks of the Ganga are several cities, towns and villages, and the inhabitants of these places drink and bathe in the waters of the Ganga. Yet they don't all become pure. One who wants to be holy must first make his mind pure, as that is the most important factor while visiting any religious place or while doing any religious act. As the fruit Indravarun is never sweet, even when ripe, one whose heart is impure can never be pure, even if he bathes in holy waters hundreds and thousands of times. He who wants his own and others' welfare must first make his mind pure. Then and only then does visiting holy places become efficacious. O king, continued Chavan Muni, since you have asked me about holy places, I will now tell you those that are the very best. Naimisharanya is the best. Next is Chakratirth, and then Pushkar. And there are innumerable ones besides these. On hearing the Muni's words, Prahalad, the king of the Daityas, turned to his subjects and said, "We will leave for Naimisharanya right away, where we will see the yellow-robed, lotus-eyed Sri Vishnu." And so it was that, accompanied by Daityas, King Prahalad came above ground and roamed around the holy places on earth, bathing in holy rivers like the Saraswati, and performing sacred rites and doing charity. During his travels, he came across a peepal tree, under which he saw, along with feathers of vultures, numerous glittering arrows, which looked like they had been sharpened on stone. As he wondered who could have kept arrows at a sacred place, Prahalad came upon the two sages, Nar and Narayan. They were dressed in black antelope skins and had coils of matted hair piled high on their heads. Before them were placed the two wide bows, Sharangam and Ajgavam, which Prahalad immediately recognized as the bows of Vishnu and Shiva respectively. Next to the bows were two large quivers of inexhaustible arrows. Nar and Narayan sat in deep meditation with their eyes closed. An enraged Prahalad addressed them. "O ascetics," he said, "the practice of severe asceticism and the possession of bows and arrows cannot be done simultaneously by a person. Why then do you possess them? There is a contradiction between coils of matted hair on the head and keeping bows and arrows by your side." On hearing Prahalad, Nar replied, "O king of the Daityas, how does it concern you? Why do you interfere with our penance? An able person can accomplish anything. It is widely known in the three worlds that we are able to do this concurrently. In the battlefield, as well as in asceticism, we can show our prowess. O thou of weak understanding, what would you understand of the glory of asceticism, which is attained with great difficulty? We are not obstructing your path. You are free to leave." Prahalad replied, "Vain braggarts, when I am present in this sacred place, as an upholder of dharma, I won't allow you to practice any irreligious things here. O ascetics, show me your skill in battle." Nar replied, "O wretched Asur, battle it is if you so desire." A furious Prahalad took up his bow and plucked the bowstring, making a terrible sound. Nar then picked up the Ajagavam and shot a volley of sharp arrows at Prahalad. The lord of the Daityas tore them asunder with a bunch of his glittering arrows. An infuriated Nar started hurling more arrows at Prahalad, and a battle ensued. Prahalad quickly cut asunder Nar's weapons and struck violently at his breast. Nar in return pierced Prahalad's arms with 5 swift arrows. Indra, the king of the Devatas, along with other Devatas, arrived at the scene of battle on their aerial vehicles to watch the battle, sometimes cheering for Nar and sometimes for Prahalad. As rain descends from clouds over mountain peaks, Prahalad's arrows fell on Nar, wearing him out and making him feel exhausted. On seeing this, Narayan picked up his Sharanga bow and began shooting arrows at Prahalad. The Devatas watched the battle, showering flowers from the skies. The sky was covered with arrows being shot from both sides, and the day seemed dark as night. The astonished Devatas and Daityas exclaimed to each other that they had never seen a battle such as this. Devarshayot Gandharvam Yaksha Kinnar Pannagah Vidyadharashcharanascha Vismayam Paramam Yayuh. The Devarshis, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, Panagas, Vidhadhars, and Charanas were all wonderstruck. The rishis Narad and Parvat had also come there. I have seen a lot of terrible battles, said Rishi Narad to Rishi Parvat, like the one with Tarkasur and Vrittasur, as well as the battle between Vishnu and the Daityas Madhu and Ketab. But they are no comparison to this battle. Vyas said, O king, days and nights passed and yet the battle continued. Narayan's arrow broke Prahalad's bow. Prahalad swiftly took up another one, but Narayan broke that too. As Narayan's arrows kept breaking Prahalad's bows, he kept picking up a fresh one. When all his bows had been destroyed, the enraged king of the Daityas took up an iron club and threw it at Narayan, who deftly deflected it with his arrows. Then Prahalad threw a mace at Narayan's thighs. But Narayan stood firm and shot off arrows which broke the mace. An incensed Prahalad now started shooting off Shakti darts, spears and missiles towards Narayan, at which Narayan displayed his prowess at cutting them all. The whole cosmos trembled as the battle lasted 1,000 Devata years. Then the four-armed, yellow-robed Vishnu appeared there and called out to Prahalad. On seeing his lord before him, Prahalad came and bowed low with folded hands. O Devadidev, he said, you are the Lord of the universe, and you take care of your devotees. I have fought this battle for 1,000 years and still not been able to defeat these ascetics. I don't know why that is, and I'm very surprised at it. Vishnu smiled and replied, O forgiving one, Nar and Narayan are the perfect ascetics, self-controlled and born from my essence. That is why you have not been able to defeat them. Do not quarrel anymore. Return to Patal and stay steadfast in your devotion towards me, O intelligent one. Thus, advised by Vishnu, said sage Vyas, the Daitya king Prahalad returned to Patal with his retinue of Daityas, and Nar and Narayan started meditating again. Katyayani Mahamaye Bhavani Bhuvaneshwari Sansara Sagare Magnam Mamuddhar Kripamayi Brahma Vishnu Shivaradhye Prasida Jagadambike Mano Abhilashitam Devi Varam Dehi Namostute.